This is the second half of section 8.4 on slope. You saw this formula on the previous page, m equals y2 minus y1, and that should say x2 minus x1. And this can be a little confusing for students. It's easy to get the subtraction messed up. So one of my students a few semesters ago said that if you make empty boxes where you would plug in your different values with the subtraction sign in between them, it makes it a little bit easier to keep all your numbers straight. So I'll show you how that works. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's okay. So we have 2 points, so find the slope for the following pairs of points. We have x1, y1, x2, y2. And I like to set up the empty boxes. I'll show you how it works so that we can make sure our subtraction is correct. So y2 is 11, y1 is 5, x2 is 6, and x1 is 1. So one thing to notice if you haven't done this before, if it's been a while, you want to make sure whatever coordinate point the 11 comes from, that's same ordered pair as where the 6 came from. So those kind of have to stay lined up. Same thing here, wherever the 5 came from should be the same place the 1 came from. So the y and x from one point and the y and x from the other, you don't want to get those crisscrossed. So just be careful there. And then you just subtract. 11 minus 5 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. If this can reduce, go ahead and reduce. If it can simplify, whatever is fine. If not, you just leave it an improper fraction or ratio, 6 over 5. If you know how to do this and you want to fly through the rest of them, that's fine. If you want to keep watching me, that's fine too. Again, I like that structure of the boxes so I can keep my numbers nice and organized. So let's see, y2 is 9, y1 is 6, x2 is negative 2, and x1 is 3. 9 minus 6 is 3. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. One of the values is positive and one of the values is negative, which makes a negative slope. On your homework, I think it prefers the negative out front, and then the fraction 3 over 5. So that would be your slope. Hopefully you've seen this before. If not, it's pretty easy. You're always able to get slope between any 2 points. Boxes are good structure. Here's a couple negatives where, again, it kind of helps to have those boxes to separate your negative from your subtraction. So we have negative 5 minus negative 1 and positive 4 minus 3. So negative 5 minus negative 1 is negative 4. So the minus and the negative kind of cancel each other out. So it becomes negative 5 plus 1. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. I like to have a top number and a bottom number for slope. I think in my math lab it just wants the negative 4 simplified. So you can get fractions, you can get integers, and let's look at these last two down here. We have x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have 7 minus 7 over negative 5 minus 0. 7 minus 7 is 0. Negative 5 minus 0 is negative 5. 0 divided by negative 5 is 0. So we have our 0 slope, which is the horizontal line. Back from the first video from this chapter, the first couple of videos. So a horizontal line has 0 slope. And then this last one, x1, y1, x2, y2. I like to label above the points because it's easy to get them all mixed up. And again, the boxes kind of help keep you organized as well. So we have 3 minus negative 5 and 2 minus 2. 3 minus negative 5 is positive 8. 2 minus 2 is 0. Anytime you try to divide by 0, you're going to get an undefined answer. In algebra, you cannot divide by 0. In calculus, you can, but that's way down the road from here. So an undefined slope, remember, is a vertical line. So anytime you try to divide by 0, it's going to give you undefined. If you get those mixed up, just put them in your calculator. This will give you 0, this will give you undefined. So same idea down here with an application problem. It says you notice water leaking from your faucet. You put a measuring cup under it to catch the water and start a timer. After 2 minutes, 10 milliliters have leaked. After 7 minutes, 25 milliliters have leaked. At what rate, milliliters per minute, is your faucet leaking? So you have 2 points in time. 2 and 10 become an ordered pair. So this is minutes and milliliters. And then 7 and 25 become another ordered pair. Again, minutes and milliliters. Time is usually the x value. I don't want to say always, but usually the x value. And then whatever you're measuring is the y value. So we're going to find our slope. 25 minus 10 over 7 minus 2, so it's milliliters over minutes. Rates are always per time, so per minute, per second, per hour, whatever it is. A rate is the same thing as slope. Slope's another word for rate or speed. You'll learn more about that if you have to take a physics class. So 25 minus 10 is 15. 7 minus 2 is 5. And this reduces. 15 over 5 is 3 milliliters per minute. So that is the rate that it's leaking, 3 milliliters per minute. And that is it for slope.